Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be covering my first ever true crime case. I am super excited to be doing this. I have been wanting to start my true crime YouTube channel for a really long time. I just never had the time to actually sit down and put everything together. It was just too much for me. I have been trying to do this for about 2 years now, but whenever I tried, I ended up finding out that I was pregnant, and then my pregnancy was just a lot, and then I had my baby and I started school, and then I started working, so I couldn't really find the time to actually sit down and work on everything. But now I finally have the time, and I'm super excited to be finally doing this. Today's case is a really crazy case. I originally seen this case on TikTok. I was scrolling through TikTok, like we all do, and I came across the case and I was like, this might be a good case, a good first case to cover. Not really too much into it. It's not really difficult, but it is a really sad case. So for today's case, I'm going to be discussing the case of 18-year-old Isabella Guzman. She was 18 years old when she murdered her mom. She brutally murdered her mom. Isabella Guzman was born in June of 1995 to her parents Robert Guzman and Yumi. Growing up, Isabella was an only child, and her parents were Jehovah's Witness. From a very young age, Isabella was described to have a lot of behavior issues. She gave her parents trouble. By the age, I think it was between the ages of 3 and 5, her parents did end up getting a divorce. And, divorce can be really hard on a child, no matter the age. It's a really hard thing, Even though Isabella's parents did get a divorce when she was very young, they still tried to have that family bond, They weren't really her parents weren't really on bad terms with each other. They still were really close. They still worked together. Her parents owned an art studio, and that's where they worked and spent most of their time. And even though Isabella's parents worked hard to provide for her, Isabella always gave them some kind of trouble. And eventually, by the time she was 7 years old, she was sent to live with her dad. Her mom had enough. She couldn't, she was working, and then she had to take care of Isabella, and Isabella was, causing a lot of trouble. So she was like, you know what, I'm gonna just send her over to her dad, and hopefully, doing that, she would come back and she would be on the right path. Unfortunately, when Isabella got to live with her dad, she was giving her dad the same trouble she was giving her mom. She wasn't listening. She was acting out. So eventually, Isabella's dad had enough as well. He sent her back to live with her mom, and that is where today's case takes place. She's back living with her mom. Isabella's mom did remarry. She ended up marrying a man named Ryan Hoy, and Isabella did not like this at all. There wasn't really much I could find in regards to Isabella's relationship with her stepdad, but throughout Isabella's teenage years, her relationship with her mom became worse. She wasn't really doing good in school academically. She didn't really try, and that can become a huge issue between a parent and a child. Your parents want you to do your best in school, and Isabella, she wasn't trying. She didn't really fit in. She didn't really want to fit in. Isabella would always sneak boys in and out of the home, and Isabella's mom, eventually caught on to what she was doing. I'm not sure if, Isabella's mom confronted her about it, but, more than likely she probably did. And, because of who Isabella is, the argument probably, it was probably an argument that, happened. But Isabella really didn't care to hear what her mom said. She didn't really care to, listen. Just like anything else her mom said, it probably went in one ear and out the other. Eventually, Isabella did drop out of high school, and this caused a huge argument between her and her mom, because as a parent, you want your kids to do the best they can, to further their education and, just to be a good student and a good child. Isabella's mom wanted the best for her, and Isabella just threw that all away when she dropped out of high school. And from that moment on, Isabella and her mom always had bad blood between each other. And probably more so on Isabella's end than her mom's end. I'm pretty sure Isabella's mom didn't like the way, things were between her. Just like any other parent, you want the best for your child, like I said, and you want to have a close relationship with your child. And Isabella didn't allow that to happen. She was rebellious from the start. And, eventually Isabella and her mom did end up getting into a really bad argument that ended up with Isabella sending her mom a really threatening email that said, "You will pay." And Isabella's mom, she was scared. She ended up calling the police, and the police ended up coming to Isabella's home. and they talked to Isabella and they let her know, like, this, you can't do this. This is not acceptable. You know, you're 18 years old. Your mom can kick you out of the house if she want to. And eventually they did ask Isabella's mom, Yumi, if she wanted to press charges against Isabella, and Yumi denied. She didn't want to do that. She probably figured, you know, since the police talked to Isabella, that she might change her ways. She might try and actually form a relationship with her mom. But Isabella, this didn't happen. Isabella was still the same person. You know, I'm pretty sure nothing could change Isabella in the way that she viewed her mom and the hatred that she had for her mom. So after the police left, Isabella's stepdad, Ryan, ended up calling her dad, Robert, over to talk to her. And, you know, he kind of filled him in on what was going on and, you know, why the police was called. And her dad, Robert, ended up coming over and talking to her and, you know, letting her know, just like the police did, that this is unacceptable. You can't be sending your mom emails like this. And, you know, him and Isabella talked for a while. You know, they sat outside in the backyard just watching the trees and watching the animals. And Robert, thinking that he finally got through to Isabella, he ended up leaving the home. This is where the case actually takes a turn for the worse for Yumi. The following day, Yumi, you know, she was at work the entire day, you know, trying to provide for Isabella, even though Isabella's, you know, considered an adult. She's 18 years old. She was still at work, working hard. And she ended up coming home. This all took place on August 28th of 2013. Yumi came home from a hard day's work at around 9:30 p.m. and, you know, she greeted her husband. Yumi brought home dinner for her husband and Isabella and herself. And, you know, after greeting her husband and, you know, just kind of chit-chatting with her husband, she ended up going upstairs. She said she was going to go upstairs and take a shower, you know, and kind of get ready for the night. And a couple of minutes later, while, you know, Ryan is getting his food together, he hears a loud thud, you know, coming from upstairs. And, you know, he's not pretty sure what the sound is, but, you know, he rushes upstairs and he sees, as he's coming up the stairs, that Isabella is attacking Yumi, her mom. She's attacking her in the bathroom. And as he tries to get into the bathroom, you know, to try and stop the attack, Isabella locks the door and she puts her body up against the door so that he cannot get in. And she continues to viciously attack her mom. And eventually, you know, after a few minutes or a few seconds of, you know, him standing there helpless, not being able to get in or, you know, try to protect Yumi, he sees blood coming from underneath the door and he runs downstairs to call 911. And as he's on the phone with 911 explaining what was going on, that, you know, his stepdaughter is brutally attacking his wife, he runs back upstairs and the 911 operator is, you know, trying to understand what is all going on. And after a few moments, Ryan hears his wife Yumi's last word, and it was Jehovah. And then everything kind of went quiet. Isabella opened the door and, you know, she steps out. She has a knife in her hand, bloody still. She's bloody from head to toe. And he sees Yumi, his wife, lying helpless and lifelessly on the ground right behind Isabella. And he notices that there's a bat lying next to Yumi. And, you know, he's probably, you know, he's there thinking, oh my God, you know, I might be next. I don't know, you know, and Isabella is just staring straight ahead into a blank stare. She probably didn't even notice that, you know, Ryan was standing there, and she just walks clean out of the house and into the night. And Ryan, he's still on the phone with the 911 operator, and she's instructed him to, you know, perform CPR until the police get there. But Ryan already knows that Yumi is already gone. And so the police get there and they confirm that 47-year-old Yumi was brutally murdered by her daughter.
Chilling story. Good morning, Dan and Bianna. Before the murder, police were actually at the teenager's house with a stern warning to her to respect her mother or be thrown out of the house. Hours later, police were back, this time to a bloody murder scene.
District 1 is looking for Isabella Guzman. Looks like cut her mother's throat.
Police say this is the face of a killer, and that 18-year-old Isabella Guzman's alleged victim is her own mother. 47-year-old Yunmi Hoy's body, the center of what investigators call a bloody crime scene in this Aurora, Colorado home. Police say Guzman stabbed Hoy 79 times before fleeing the home.
She's on foot somewhere in the area.
After an all-night search, undercover police discovered Guzman in a nearby parking lot. In a police affidavit, investigators say the girl's stepfather, Ryan Hoy, heard his wife cry out from the bathroom. He then opened the door and allegedly found his stepdaughter standing with a knife over her mother's bloody body. Guzman's biological father tells ABC news station KMGH he spoke with his daughter earlier that day. The topic of conversation, her troubled relationship with her mother.
I still can't believe it. I thought that I made progress, but obviously it didn't do nothing because hours later, then this thing happened.
Prosecutors say in the days leading up to Yoon Hoy's brutal murder, Guzman allegedly yelled at her and spit in her face and reportedly, via email, sent a clear message: "You will pay." A teenager who looks more like a model than a murder suspect, now behind bars.
Guzman's being held without bail on first-degree murder. Her next court appearance is on September 15th. An incredibly disturbing story. Dan and Bianna.
Disturbing indeed, all right.
I saw Isabella. She had a blank expression on her face. I'm not sure what happened with the knife she was carrying. It looked like she was still holding on to it. And I looked down and I saw my wife on the floor. Blood everywhere, all over the bathroom. I was talking to the dispatcher, and the dispatcher told me, make sure you get her breathing again, get her airways open. I don't know CPR. But at that time, I looked at my wife's eyes, and I knew that she must not have made it. I just couldn't believe that it had happened like that. Isabella was in a rage like I've never seen before.
What do you mean?
Well, I could just hear her just pummeling my wife. I thought she was just hitting her with her fists.
Okay, so that thumping sound you were
Thumping sound, I thought, was Yumi maybe hitting against the wall, and Isabella just pounding her with her fists.
Okay.
So that's what I originally thought it was, and that's when I called 911.
And this was a very vicious attack. She stabbed her mom in the head and in the neck 79 times. You were going for the kill. It's not like you were trying to, injure her or, just, fight your mom. You actually stabbed her in her head and in the neck viciously. So, the police start their manhunt trying to find Isabella, and they bring Ryan down to the police station and they question him. Isabella was not found that night. It took all the way until the next night, August 29th of 2013, for Isabella to be found. Police got a tip from someone calling in saying that they had seen someone, she was sleeping in a car, and, the police, they raced down there trying to find Isabella, but by the time they get there, she is gone. A few minutes later, they see Isabella walking out of the garage, and, they take her in. They arrest her immediately, and they take her in for questioning. And the interrogation, I watched it all. Isabella denied everything that took place. She said she was innocent from the start. She said that she was a 15-year-old girl named Samantha Gonzalez, and she murdered a woman named Cecilia to try and save the world. She didn't know who Yumi was. She said she would never murder her mom.
10 pounds? That's really skinny. I'm 148 pounds.
Isabella, please.
Don't call me Isabella. That's
your name.
My name is not Isabella. My name is Samantha. There are people in this world who look alike,
Mm-hmm.
You guys are not, all-knowing. You don't know everything. You're just accusing me of all this stuff that I didn't do.
We know what you did, and we know who you are. We know how it happened,
Apparently not,
when it
because
happened.
you guys are completely wrong. You got the wrong girl.
No, we don't. We don't have the wrong girl, and you know that.
No, I don't.
How did it feel?
How did what feel?
When you did what you did, how did it feel?
I didn't kill anybody. That's disgusting.
Did it feel good?
It's disgusting. You guys really think I'm a murderer?
Yeah, we're not joking.
Did it make you feel powerful?
You. Just you.
Yes or no? Simple question. Did it make you feel powerful to do what you did?
Oh my god. I did not kill anyone. Can you guys stop interrogating me? We're just gonna keep going around and around, and we're really just trying to get fingerprinted so I can meet my boyfriend, so you can prove to
Would
me.
you like us just to leave, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you just like us to leave?
We don't have the same fingerprints. We're not the
Wouldn't
same
you like this all just to go away, rewind back 12 hours, and have this never happen? We'd all like that.
I wish I could have not walked through the parking garage, so you would have not mistaken me for being someone else.
We're way past that. We're not gonna know.
September 15th of 2013, Isabella was dragged out of her cell. She did not want to leave her cell. The guards actually had to drag her out of her cell. And this is kind of where TikTok comes into play into this case, because when she was dragged out of her cell and brought into the courtroom, Isabella is seen making these weird faces to the camera, kind of smiling at the camera. And TikTok, it blew up on TikTok. It became this huge thing. People were reposting it. People were saying how beautiful she was, and even saying that she must have had a reason to kill her mom. I didn't understand it when I was seeing it. I'm like, this girl brutally murdered her mom. And people are actually on TikTok praising this girl, you know, making it seem like she is this heroic person, and she's not. She killed her mom. She's a murderer. She deserves to be in jail. Throughout the trial, Isabella, of course, maintained her innocence. She tried to say that she was mentally ill, and the jury actually agreed with this. They said that she was in some kind of mental state when this all happened. And at first they were going to rule with the death penalty, but they ended up ruling innocent by reason of insanity, and she was actually sent to a mental institute. They actually said that she actually has paranoid schizophrenia. After trial, Isabella was sent immediately to Colorado Mental Health Institute. After trial, Isabella was sent to Colorado Mental Institute in Pueblo, Colorado, where she, is until today. Isabella tried to, appeal this many times, but they continued to deny it. She even went on the news and said that she felt like she's not that person anymore. She felt like she is better, and that, she feels like she would be safe in the public, which I disagree. I mean, you murdered your mom, and then, no, there's no way that she should be out. I feel like she should have got the death penalty, honestly. The attack was brutal.
I was not myself when I did that, and I have since been restored to full health. I was abused at home by my family for many years. My parents are Jehovah's Witnesses, and I left the religion when I was 14, and the abuse at home worsened after I quit. The fight with my mom was terrible, and I was injured in the process. I have the scars on my hands. I don't know if you can see or not. I'm not mentally ill anymore. I'm not a danger to myself or others. If I could change it, or if I could take it back, I would.
I feel so sorry for you, me, and Ryan and Robert. They had to go through this. I couldn't imagine how Robert feels, her dad, losing your ex-wife, and also at the same time losing your child. And throughout the questioning of Ryan, her stepdad, he actually said that after Isabella sent the email to her mom that you will pay, he was from that point on terrified of Isabella, and that he never thought in a million years that Isabella would actually be someone that could commit murder. In June of 2021, Isabella was granted permission to leave, the mental hospital for therapy sessions. She stated that if she could change everything that happened between her and her mom, she would. I don't think she would. I just think she's saying that, to kind of get her way, to try and get out of the mental institute. But I hope that they don't ever let her out. She is not somebody that should be in the public. She is a threat to humanity. She should not, be let out. I feel like she should be in a jail. I don't think she should be in a mental institute. That's just my opinion. Y'all let me know down below what y'all think, but I don't think that she should be in a mental institute. You knew what you were doing. You planned it. You should not be. I feel like the mental institute was an easy way out. She should have got the death penalty. Even if not the death penalty, she should have at least gotten life in prison without parole. Something a little bit harsher, not the mental institution. That was just like a slap on the wrist, in my opinion. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. To this day, Isabella maintains her innocence.
In 2015, she reported to police she had been sexually assaulted by a hospital employee in a closet.
He asked me if I wanted to go in there and look through to get some clothing, so I did. The other patient left, and he went in there and shut the door behind him.
The case was investigated by the state hospital's police. The Department of Human Services denied our request for information, citing privacy laws. Isabella said there were 2 other incidents with the same employee.
I was afraid that if I didn't do what he wanted, that he could ruin my life.
She is now seeking prosecution of the man she claims assaulted her. But the Pueblo DA says he never got such a case back then from the hospital police.
So hard on me emotionally and mentally. It made me feel like I wanted to give up.
But what Isabella Guzman would like most of all is release from this facility.
If I could change it or if I could take it back, I would.
She is hoping to see freedom one day. Rick Salinger, covering Colorado First.
That is the case of 18-year-old Isabella Guzman, who murdered her mom, Yunmi Hoy. She was only 47 years old when she died. It was such a horrible death. I could not imagine, raising someone and then one day they are the ones that take your life. I could not imagine it. And Yunmi, she was a person that she would give you the clothes off her back if she could. She worked hard to provide for her and her family and for Isabella, even though Isabella was someone who didn't listen. She still provided for Isabella. She still loved Isabella throughout everything. And it's just sad to know that in the end, her own daughter took her own life in a very, very, very vicious attack. Hopefully, you guys like this video. This is my first video, so please, please, please go easy on me. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any suggestions to any true crime cases, please drop them down below in the comments. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.